care. So your Bristlebacks, Dragonites, Pugnas, those heroes are my top favorites right now as they allow you to push constantly and they're just beef, pure beef.
True, and when you also mentioned the Timber, right? I've seen him being first picked, and you're like, okay, now he's gonna get countered by an Ursa or something, but then the Timber Saws just go for their first and second spell, and they destroy the lane. So to me, that hero now looks incredibly strong because he wins any lane, and we all know what happens when a Timber Saw wins the lane. So that's also one of the heroes that I could see being picked up in the first phase.
Yeah, I remember even a few months back, Timbersaw was more or less just always first pick or ban, especially for the China region, and it just felt like games were being decided at that stage of the draft.
It's ever since the Leipzig Major that it's been that popular. Up to the Leipzig Major, it wasn't really popular. Then everyone started picking it. I believe it was Ramses that played it the most, I think, on the offlane, and then literally what he would do is he would stand up front, soak in all the aggression. If you attack him, you have to commit 4 heroes. By the time you do that, they respond and retaliate even better, and he's always a nuisance, so it's a really nice hero to have.
The interesting part is that they did just ban out that Timbersaw after an Undying ban, so maybe what we're going to see coming outside of Viking, there it is to open up the Strength lineup, because it seems like they're focused on Strength heroes getting countered with these type of bans, right?
Yeah, the Undying and the Timber really destroy Strength heroes, not only in the laning stage, but also at the later stages of the game. But we see a Mars and a Shadow Demon, that's a good burst combo later on, but the Batrider is pretty good against both of those heroes. Do we see like an Oracle ban now?
They could, yeah, there you go. That's a pretty good call. They ban out the Oracle instantly, which makes me think that this bat might be even a core bat, right? Skylark is in the team, and if he's offlane, he's a very capable bat player, has been playing it forever, and bat plus Tusk is also a pretty solid lane. They also ban out the Oracle because Shadow Demon is most likely going to be your position 4 that's laning with the Mars. And Tusk and bat are really scary. Not necessarily your best tag team combo, right? There are heroes that definitely benefit better from the tag team, but still solid.
Yeah, it's good. The Napalm actually gives you damage as well on the hit, plus the tag team. It can be okay. Plus the Kotl is banned. He's one of those heroes that's good against the tag team, and also Troll is good against the tag team. But without the Oracle, Troll cannot lane against the Batrider. So kind of you don't really have a counter to the Tusk and the Batrider lane. I don't know.
You're just thinking about cores right now that can deal with the bat, right?
I feel like Void.
Void is fine. Yeah, it's been picked quite a lot versus bat. You get a couple of sticky napalm charges on you. You use time dilation. You're fine.
We don't really see Lifestealer anymore, right?
Yeah, you could go for that as well. There's Lifestealer option, there's Jug option, there's Slark option. You have quite a bit of heroes left in the pool that are good versus bad. The only question is how strong are they right now?
Yeah, and how susceptible are they to the Tusk especially, right? Because I think we said we were surprised we didn't see it in the last series. Straight away when you see a Tusk come out, you have to be thinking about how they can actually punish you on the lanes, right?
I think that, okay, they go for a Lycan. That's not very good against the bat, but if we're only looking at the bat lane, I think the best two when it comes to bat and the Tusk are PL and Naga. Naga has high armor, PL has high armor. They both have spells to get rid of the napalm, so I think they're fine. TB
PL as well. You're very correct.
I mean, TB is good against the Tusk, but doesn't work against the Batrider. So those two illusion heroes actually come to mind.
Lycan is completely comfort zone for them. It's also, like we said before, there are some heroes that are good versus bad, but they're not necessarily the best right now in the meta. And it's very bad when you focus your draft on countering the enemy heroes, and then you end up with pretty much garbage heroes that are not really playable at the moment. Lycan is complete opposite. Even with a couple of recent nerfs, I think the hero is super strong, gives you everything you need, and that's objective taking. Eventually you can rat with your Necros, Dominator, whatever. Desolator, AC, you're good.
Yeah,
is Shadow Demon good enough to stop the Batrider from killing the Lycan? I feel like if you lane the Batrider against the Lycan, it's really gonna get destroyed. I wouldn't like to see that matchup happening for Viking GG.
Well, right now they don't truly have a lot of options. What are your options? Your options are Lycan offlane or Lycan safe. You can play it mid perhaps and dodge the Batrider that way. That's always an option, but overall, if those two lanes are just equally bad versus bad. You have on one side Mars, on the other Lycan.
Okay, we
I
have
don't think it's Shadow Demon. They
there's
need
also
something different,
Abaddon. There's also Abaddon in this.
Does Abaddon feel that great to get in this type of scenario though? Because we've seen it's always been seen as one of the good counters to Batrider, but it's quite hard to be in the right position at the right time.
What, you're gonna have like an Abaddon versus Tusk Bat?
Yeah,
No.
not sounding too good.
The tag team alone is gonna run him down.
Well, I was gonna say, is there thought process that the Lycan, if he has a bad lane, he's one of those heroes that can very easily fall back, farm the jungle, and recover, like a TB would in that Esk, right? It's this type of hero that says, screw this quite early. Even if he wins the lane, he's able to give the gold over to supports for recovery if need be.
That's very interesting, Enchantress.
Oh.
It's not necessarily a hero that's really good here, not really a hero that's good versus Bat as well. Very peculiar. That should be their position 5.
It should be.
Yeah, but perhaps they will pick something different with it on the safe lane. We'll see. Most likely, Boom's hero is going to be picked last, and he will be rolling down mid. Enchantress, however, usually when you think about it, is countered by Batrider quite heavily. Batrider doesn't care about the untouchable. Early on in the laning stage right now, perhaps because you're going for enchant and heal, you don't have that luxury to get untouchable until level 6. Batrider might be a little bit worse, but still, it's not an easy lane for Enchantress and Lycan.
To be honest, the only thing that's going for Viking GG in this game is that they have a Lycan. It's a hero that you make one mistake and you lose the game, which can happen. But when you look at the aggressive mode lineup, they counter the Viking GG lineup. They have saves for the Mars, they have the Snowball, they have Batrider who basically wins every lane here. They have good combination of Pango plus the Tusk. So, and the Nature's Prophet, one of the strongest heroes right now. We talked about the Blade Mail. He does really well with that. A lot of physical damage on the side of Viking GG. So to be honest, when it comes to the draft, I really prefer aggressive mode for now, from what I've seen.
I guess the peculiar thing is they pick up this Enchantress, you already got a Shadow Demon, and I'd say if aggressive mode have one thing, it's that aggression to get on your back line, right? They have a lot of reach right now with the Pango, with the Prophet, the Bat, and even the Tusk. So do you think that maybe what Viking need is a little bit more frontline, a bit more bulk to go forward with the Lycan? And
not really. You have the Lycan and Mars already, right? So you can get away with picking supports such as these two if you have these frontliners that are running into you, and that's exactly what they've got. So it's kind of alright to have Ench and Shadow Demon.
So what are both teams missing right now?
On one side, from aggressive mode, I'm guessing this Nature's Prophet will be their safe lane. Weaver as well. All right, so very flexible lanes from them. This could also be your Batrider position 4. Could be Batrider position 5.
I feel like it's Weaver and Tusk on the safe lane, and the Pango position 4. I talked about Qpei.
Oh yeah, and actually, that's correct.
And Batrider position 3 or mid, wherever the Lycan is, and the Nature's Prophet on the other lane. I feel like that's how they want to lane it, because Weaver does really well with the Tusk, minus armor, plus Geminate attack. It's really well, so I feel like that would be the best way for them to lane this.
Yeah, and when you're thinking about Pango in this team, you know that Cube is playing with them, and that guy just loves the Pango. Dude, I remember him... When Pango came out, I'm looking. He lost this game for sure. They lost a lot of games. He was in LOTV with Vaga.
Yeah, the Vaga stack.
And I remember the one thing he would do is he would make them pick this Pango. He would buy nothing.
Go straight for the javelin.
Yeah,
I remember
go straight to the javelin, and that worked for like 2 games, you know. And then everyone caught on. Like this Pango has nothing. Like,
just destroy him.
Just destroy him.
So they
Dragonite is a solid pick, yeah.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Like, it feels good because they need a bit more lockdown because there's a lot of elusiveness to aggressive mode's lineup, right?
Gives you some more beef that you talked about. Gives you an additional hero that's able to push. They don't really have a lot to deal with the Dragonite. If this is a Fury on mid, then the Dragonite can deal with him very easily. But the problem is with this Dragonite pick is, for this Batrider, you can pick and choose which lane you want to go to win it.
Yeah, but that's also... But yeah, you're giving one lane to either the Lycan or the Dragonite, right? In my opinion, they should lane the Lycan against the Batrider because he can go back to the woods. The Dragonite needs a good lane. So in my opinion, Viking GG need to find the lane where the Furion is, put the Dragonite there, have a solid lane, because the Nature's Prophet is going to do well against both of these. The Batrider is going to do exceptionally well, right? So to me, this Dragon Knight needs to have a game. He needs to be against the Nature's Prophet and needs to be strong enough to push in the beginning for Viking GG to actually stand a chance in this game. But to be honest, I like aggressive mode's lineup a bit better.
I'm not sure for aggressive mode, even though we're talking about position 4 Pango. If it's Cube, then the Tusk is relegated to position 5, which isn't that awesome. You do have some combos that work really well, like Tusk and Weaver, but you have these two cores that are pretty much doing the same thing. If Weaver is your position 1 and Furion is your 2, the farm priority is really weird.
Yeah.
Who's going to be making the plays? Who's going to be your true win condition? That's also pretty weird. While on Viking GG, you have a clear set of goals, what your Dragon Knight, what your Lycan are going to be doing, and I think that strategy is way easier to execute.
True, it does look easier. Viking GG's idea looks easier, but to me, if aggressive mode sets up these lanes the way they want, they can just run over.
There definitely is a chance for them to set up the lanes well.
Yeah, they can run them over.
All right. Well, it seems that you boys want to go for Viking. Easier for them to execute. And I'll tell you what, we've got some people who are very easy to listen to. Wonderful voices of Suns fans. Synderen ready to take it away with this series. How about it, lads?
Well, thank you very much for that beautiful compliment.
I think he meant easy to fall asleep
not
to.
So, yeah. Well, ASMR is my favorite pastime, Synderen. So I take that also as a compliment. So we got the DK, we got the Lycan, we got a lot of push on the side of Viking. I'm calling them Viking, by the way. Do you have an issue with that?
No, you say everything wrong. It's fine.
Okay.
Keep going.
Well, it's more... Okay, it's another one of these weird situations where if you say Viking.gg, that's just awful to say, okay? If you say Viking GG, that's 3 Gs, so it's also incorrect.
And it's wrong,
So why
that's
not
not what it says, yeah.
So you actually say Viking.gg.
I call them Vic.
You call them... Jesus, of course you would do that. I mean, their logo is literally a Viking, so they want to be called Viking.
Vic. Just call them Viking. It's fine. I'm messing with you.
I'm going to.
Or am I?
30 seconds.
I never know these days. So a lot of push on the side of Viking. And on the side of aggressive mode, you got... Well, you got a lot of heroes that... If you go back like a year and a half, you have... I mean, even now, it's more standard lineup in terms of what positions these heroes play, but these are all over the place, right? Every single one of these heroes can play multiple positions.
The main thing I'm looking at for a game like this is there's a very clear timing for the Radiant lineup, and my question is, what is the Dire going to do about it? When Lycan shows up with Necro Books, when Dragon Knight is online, and when Mars has one teamfight item, can you actually win a fight against them? The teamfight on the Dire is pretty weak. You have a Pango ulti, and that's kind of it. The rest is very much down to like finesse, I almost want to say, where you like isolate targets extremely well, get a good attack angle with Batrider or Tusk getting some great shards, whereas on the Radiant it just looks like press buttons and run at the enemy and overwhelm them, right? There's like an ease of execution to teamfights that the Dire can't match. So if you can't realistically do very well in these teamfights without excellent execution, and you're also the unfavored team in terms of like just relative recent skill, you might have to play around it in a completely different way by like playing split pushy style or snowballing your lanes completely, which right now it looks like snowballing will happen top, but it's for the other team.
Oh my god, that Weaver
snowball.
got decimated. Whew. That was disgusting.
He wanted to snowball dodge the pop, but it's hard.
It is. I mean, that's almost feels like almost impossible, Synderen. You have to have some quick fingers there.
Yep.
You're talking all this shit about the Dire lineup. But what you don't seem
Talking shit
to
is
understand,
exaggeration.
what you don't seem to understand is that their Pango is level 25, Synderen.
All right, that is true. That
Unfortunately,
does
he is
matter.
also the position 4.
I thought you were going to
So-
say, unfortunately, it's Cube. I was like, okay, that's fucking harsh.
Hey, you're the one that talks shit, not me. Just remember that, okay?
Okay. No, I mean, what I was saying before about the Dire lineup, they have some good laning potential, and they have snowball potential, and they can play fast and make the game chaotic. But if it does get to a structured state where Viking get to execute their timing, I just see problems. So let's see what they manage to do in the first like 10 minutes of the game, because that's really, if they can get themselves an advantage and go from there, that would be great.
It
Unfortunately,
feels like they
put
need
this-
to have an advantage laning stage, right?
Yeah, they put this Batrider Pango against Ench Lycan. I don't actually really think that Bat is favored here, just because the insane slow from Enchantress just ruins Firefly. You need a very, very long distance to run down against Lycan to get him. He can play with respect for you and just play around the stickies to an extent. Lycan is one of the heroes that can get CS while he's running away from Bad, right? Because you have the 2 wolves. So you can still get CS even when you're being bullied. Bad Rider's base damage is terrible, so the guy denying in the lane will be the Pango. And this matchup is not as bad as for Lycan as it used to be because of that. Like, the wolves are really good. And yeah, Enchantress being a great help, obviously harassing. Lycan will have a good time. Dragon Knight against Nature's Prophet is a great lane. And their top lane, I mean, so far, obviously doing super hot, right? So laning stage is not too promising for aggressive mode.
Even in the mid lane, Dragon Knight is 15-5 versus the 11-6. I mean, this is one of those lanes that DK will not get killed in pretty much 100% unless he gets ganked. But how does it match up for Nature's Prophet? Like, is he supposed to get enough farm to just even it out, or like, I don't even know how you stop this push eventually once he gets level 6. As we're going to see Tusk and Enchantress trade lives across the map.
Well, that is a dead courier. That's another thing about the wolves. They're really fast. They are good at killing couriers. Yeah, so a trade-off here. I would say this is a Dragon Knight favorite lane. I don't know by how much, probably a little bit, just because the Breathe Fire can take away enough damage from the Treants that I think his Quelling Blade overpowers, or at least matches, Nature's Prophet's natural advantage in lane with the Treants. But probably all in all, relatively much an even lane.
Do you like the Dragon Knight set? It's PA. Am I right?
Oh, yeah. No, I was thinking it looks like something out of Elder Scrolls Online, actually. So.
Oh, okay. I see. I only played Dota, so I wouldn't know anything about it.
Yeah, and Valorant.
That's not a game. That's life.
Okay.
Spartan in the top lane gets disrupted, and it's going to take some heavy damage. Gets the snowball off. See which way he's going. It's going to be towards the small camp where little Kobold is sitting tight.
Oh, he hesitated on the
has
spear
some
there,
nice
Toby.
ice shards.
Toby had ample opportunity to throw a spear. Didn't go for it. Wasn't confident, apparently.
He had confidence in Aramis. How do you say his name?
Aramis, I think?
Aramis?
Or Aramis. Aramis, probably.
Aramis?
Oh, and just dead bottom. So, this was another thing the panel was talking about was, well, if you put Lycan against Bad, you can just jungle whenever you want, right? Like, he's got what he needs. He's got level 4, so 2 points in Impulse, 2 points in Wolves. He's just going to go jungle.
Top lane. The initiation was on the Shadow Demon to start. Actually, Pango comes into play. Very early rotation here. Shadow Demon is completely blocked off. Swashbuckles will connect. And you have to think that this will be a definite kill. Toby not able to get that spear
That's why he
off.
didn't throw the spear the last time, I guess.
Why, because he was going to miss?
If he throws him like Glad, you might as well not do it.
Maybe it's his ping. You know, it could be anything. It could be any reason.
I've been there. Mars Spear is a deceptively difficult spell to land sometimes. So it's fair. You will miss some every game, more or less.
When's the last time have you seen the Ags in competitive play at all?
For Mars?
For Mars?
I have, but not the new one, I think. I've seen the old one.
Oh, the old one. Okay.
Mainly Boxy has been getting it when he's been snowballing.
Disruption into the spear. Oh, snowball. It's going to be onto Shadow Demon, so this will likely be the death of the Tusk. Although, Kuwapa is here. I don't know how to say his name either, but that's going to turn around into 2 kills. Very nicely done.
And this is how this matchup goes in mid. Both heroes are going to hit level 6. Dragon Knight will non-stop be pushing this tower with Dragon Form when it's up. And that means whenever Nature's Prophet rotates around the map to put pressure, he loses structural damage. So what you often will end up doing here is you will, in order to free up Nature's Prophet to do stuff, somebody else is going to sit mid now and protect against Dragon Knight so that Nature's Prophet can be strong. He's level 6. He wants to do stuff on the map whenever he has Force Wrath of Nature up. Has some good kill potential around there. So that's probably what we're going to see. The question is, who do you put mid against DK?
Yeah.
Oh, they're actually going to try to dive
great
here with
choices all around.
Yeah,
Tusk is also in the middle of the river. He's going to get disrupted. No Dragon Tail to follow up, but they do have a lot of damage potential as Tusk will snowball. Gets close to his tier 1 tower, shards himself, and he's just going to stand there and take it like a man. I can respect that. Still, DK form is up a little bit more, so imagine a little bit more damage over time to this dot damage, as we love to call it, Synderen, you and I.
Oh no.
This tower. It's actually deceptive how good that damage over time is.
It's really, really good.
It's very good. Not in deny range. This is pretty much exactly where you want to be after the first dragon form, so everything is going according to plan for them. Nature's Prophet is actually the top of the net worth, though, Synderen. Being able to go into the jungle, despite kind of being a little bit behind in that lane to start out.
Well, he got a kill and an assist top. That was pretty valuable when he TP'd in up there. So yeah.
Oh, that's a really early tier 1 bottom taken. Very early.
Yeah, they completely abandoned the lane. Lycan has been jungling. He can't stand there alone. If Ench doesn't help, Lycan can't sit in this lane. So when Lycan went jungle and Ench died twice, he's like, whatever. I'm just going to go gank mid instead. And we're going to sacrifice this lane. I'm not sure how much I like this. I think there was ways of getting experience bottom here by rotating heroes around a little bit differently. You could have maybe had the Ench help the Mars, and then you could put Shadow Demon bot, just soaking experience in the fog and throwing Shadow Poison. And then if Batrider tries to dive you, you can disrupt him TP out, right? Or maybe even turn it into a counterplay somehow. Either way. Now Celery is back there. Now that the tower is gone, he has some more space to work with. But Skylark has 8 minutes boots of travel. He is super farmed.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty sick.
He's a threat right now. He's gonna travel top.
Top lane, shards will miss. This might break up the fight completely, and Skylark is going to be a little bit sad about that because he did expend the TP, although it doesn't actually use a TP. But the cooldown is down. Mid tower, like you said, Dunzo, Pango. Could get dragon-tailed here. He will. Not sure if he can actually... Oh, he could go for the courier, but didn't get vision on that for the last moment.
Yeah. Oh,
Skylark is here, though. Has lasso. Firefly is up, but here comes Shad with that Lycan. They're going to go on top of the bat, right? There's going to be a lot of damage with the snowball, mitigating a ton of the damage to start out. Now, Boom on the run. That minus armor is starting to stack up from that Weaver, and they're able to take out the Dragon Knight, despite being very
super fast. That was really nicely done. Not sure they needed all 5, but just the coordination or the quick response time, that was some serious communication right there from aggressive mode quickly. If you shut down a Dragon form plus a Lycan ult and you don't lose a hero and you get a kill, you're very, very happy with this overall.
I mean, obviously, that's the thing to consider for their lineup, Synderen, is they have 2 really long ultimate cooldowns, transformation ults.
Yeah.
So they can take advantage of that throughout the entire game.
Yeah, at the same time, though, if you do over-rotate, it's not that valuable, right? Like, you bring 5 heroes here and you get 1 kill. So in the meantime, you're losing farm in both lanes. Now Skylark's dead.
Yep.
Old Batrider would have lived there, but nowadays you get pinned to the wall even if you're flying when you get speared. So
what if you don't get speared? Can you run over it?
No.
How long ago did they change that? It's not that long.
I don't think so,
right?
at least. I'm pretty sure nobody can escape the arena. Yeah, flying units used to be able to just exit it. I think now you can't exit it with flying, but you can exit it with blinks, leaps.
No, there's some interactions with Tusk. Tusk punch into spear. They go over his ult actually.
Right, because when he kicks them, it's kind of like a jump, similar to pounce, right? I think regular just flying movement doesn't take you out of it anymore, but maybe it's. I don't want to say speak in absolutes here for every hero, but I think that's how it works.
Luckily for Mars, Tusk is on the other team, so I won't actually see that interaction at all. Don't have to worry about that, good friend. Shad has the Helm of the Dominator going straight for the Necro 3. So when they changed Necro, I believe what was the mana cost or something like that for the Necro 1?
Mm-hmm.
Has that changed everybody's outlook in terms of building that just straight into level 3 now instead of just sitting on 1? Or is it just case by case?
I think the bigger nerf in many ways was actually the minus strength. Losing 4 strength on level 1 is pretty big. And you say, wow, compared to 100 mana cost, but for a lot of heroes, the mana cost was not really that big of a deal. It matters, of course. But I think on a hero like Lycan, unless you are really starved for mana, you look at his mana pool right now, right? He has a 100 mana cost ult, 145 for the Wolves, that's 245, and then the book is 395. So he has an excess 260 mana to work with. That's 2 free extra set of Wolves, so... You know, it doesn't seem to be that big of a problem for that hero, at least.
Skylark's getting initiated on. There's the Mars ult again, but a beautiful Pango ult. But it's not going to be enough to save the Batrider, unfortunately for them. As Dragon form is popped. Pango continuing to do work, but the damage is mostly on the side of the Dire right now. 2 for 1 to start. The supports have died, but Shad and Boom are still alive, and they're going to chase down Spartan, or attempt to. Snowball up in 5 seconds. Very nice shards, putting him on the other side of the trees. We'll see if Toby can hit the spear. gonna have to guess completely now. Spartan has created enough distance for himself to be safe. Boom finds the stun onto the Weaver, into the spear again. Do they have enough damage? Another beautiful snowball back into the creeps, and Shikuchi is up, so he should be good to go. So he's gonna 1v1 the Mars. Will time-lapse app back to safety. Boom on the run. Absolutely zero mana to speak of. Skylark is back in the fight. I don't even think he bought back. Is that just a normal timer? We'll have to check in a second here. Either way, they find the DK kill finally. And that should break things up. That was not a buyback, right? Yeah, definitely not. So he died at the beginning of the fight, spawned normally, came back with his boots of travel, and helped finish the fight. Very nice.
I was just yeah, I was just thinking about, I just saw a comment in chat that Batrider's Firefly doesn't make you flying anymore, but the other flying units can escape it. I'm not 100% sure, but it was changed from being flying movement to just no collision with terrain, right? You remember Batrider used to be like higher up in the animation as well, right? When you were fireflying, felt like you were more above the battlefield.
Oh,
so it got
I didn't
changed
even notice
from being,
that's not even like that. Wow.
Yeah, it got changed from being flying to being no collision with anything, but still with the arena because that works based on flying. So maybe all the other flying heroes still have the completely usual rules. So that would be like Night Stalker ulti, Wyvern, Dragon Knight with Ags, maybe. Like I said before, I'm not going to guarantee it 100%, but I know
mean,
with Batrider, you're screwed in the arena. I know that much. So that's the one that matters.
If you're a black dragon, Cinderin, you should be able to walk out of an arena. I mean, you should be able to do whatever the hell you want at that point. So I'm okay with that.
True.
Shad sitting on his level 2 Necro book.
Aggressive Mode are putting up some pretty damn good fights. I think they're doing a really good job in playing around each other and playing with, especially the Tusk and the Pangolier, using them as like saves with Disarm or with Snowball. But the fights are still proving to be difficult.
Go for this Dragon Knight. Boom, gets the stun off, has the Blink Dagger now, by the way, with the double bracer. Aramis, he's going to be found. He's going to have to disrupt himself, but reinforcements are here. Pango's going to ult, get a nice stun off to start off the fight. Aramis looks like he's going to be the first to fall in this engagement. Time-lapse outside of the Mars arena. Looks like Nature's Prophet will fall, though, so it's a 1-for-1, and the chase is on in favor of Viking, or Viking.gg, or Viking with 3 Gs. Skylark now on the run. Half HP. The crit was there. He's going to use his lasso, but the Dragon Tail is going to hold him in place. And with that, it's a 3-for-1 fight. And the DD on the Lycan probably helped a little bit as well.
I have played this matchup quite a bit, playing Batrider against Lycan. It's not fun. It really is not fun. And as much as the panel likes the lane matchup, which is indeed good for Batrider, I don't think it's insanely good anymore, but it's good. The Lycan, when he gets Necro Book, especially level 3, it gets so annoying. Like, Lycan is super fast. Your hero is very movement-based on freedom of movement in fights. He just presses ulti, runs all his shit at you, and what are you going to do? He's going to purge you with a Necro Book and fight you. So you kind of have to play around it entirely, and you saw in that fight, Skylark just got bullied out almost instantly. He had to lasso the Lycan, and he was still just getting killed by the units in the meantime. All right, that's a pick-off.
That is a pick-off. It took 4 heroes. They were looking for the DK. But was able to TP out in time. But better than nothing. So 4K lead now for Viking. If we started this discussion at the beginning of the game, and we're like, all right, at 15 minutes, Viking will have a 4K lead. Do you think this is what they were expecting? Do you think this is where they needed to be? Or even if it was even, would you give them the advantage? Like, would they be happy with this? It's hard to say.
It always depends on how the gold is distributed, right? It's not just the amount, it's also who has it. But just overall, 4K lead right now, they're really far ahead in this game. I think the next 5 to 10 minutes, their lineup is just extremely powerful. They will take Roshan, they will take towers, and Aggressive Mode need to either stem the bleeding or keep making plays around the map so the enemy team doesn't get to group up. They're trying now on Toby, but 1 second cooldown on Lasso when they engage. That was just flat out not a good play call from Skylark, and now he's going to pay the price. Here comes Lycan. Oh, look at that. Now you're dead on that.
Got the troll net.
Put everything on him.
Ice shards will delay it just a bit, but Skylark will die regardless of the fact that Spartan is now on the run. He gets taken out by only minions, creeps, whatever you want to call them.
Yep.
That's 2 for nothing.
Weaver doesn't like this either when Necro 3 is up. Yeah, because it's faster than him.
That was
Weaver Shikuchi is slower than Lycan ults. at this
Well,
point.
until
So,
25.
Yeah.
Just get 25. That's fine.
So for now, Lycan can actually run you down in Chikuchi with True Sight and kill you. If he has a net creep or a stun creep, you're in trouble. You have to time lapse out. Right.
Yep, and he
5K
just took
lead.
that about 30 seconds before that fight as well, the troll creep. And
Yep. And now he has a
using it
Centaur.
to full. Yes, he does. What's the best creep for Lycan? What's everyone's favorite choice these days?
I think most of the time the best one is probably the Centaur overall. That one or the Troll, and then an honorable mention probably for the Wolf. I think just raw damage is obviously
If you can't micro, then the Wolf. Yeah, I can hear that one for sure.
Yeah, that's your
Just
item.
depends on your skill level.
That's your creep. But you would never buy
Does
Dawn.
the
You would buy whatever
That's
the
true.
gun is called in Valorant that you buy with 3 as the hotkey.
you know what it's called? It's called
No.
the op.
Oh, okay.
It's literally a Counter-Strike term. So does the troll net still go through BKB? I can't remember if that got changed or not. They've
It does
messed
not
with it so
anymore.
many times. Does not. Okay.
Dire's middle
Well, it looks
tower
like we're gonna
is
have a
under
smoke
attack.
here from Viking. This is also a pretty good Roche team,
Radiant's top
just with
tower
Lycan
is under
alone.
attack.
Be able to take that in quick
Radiant
succession if they
are
want. They might
scared.
want to get a pick here first, though. Not really finding anybody right off the bat. Gonna get some nice vision down, though. And Batrider, Skylark is
Radiant's
scouting
bottom
Roche
tower is under attack.
with the sticky napalm, but will
Radiant
not find
structures are
much.
fortified.
Same with the they have good ways of scouting Roche
Dire's
at
middle
least.
tower is under
And in terms of the
attack.
Roche fight itself, Pango is a huge deal, but past that, not a whole lot. But the saves so far from Tusk have been really impressive. This is without a Blink Dagger. I mean, he is not going to get a Blink Dagger this entire game, I don't
No.
think. But if he does, even better. But still a 5k lead for Viking
Radiant's bottom tower
as
is
we
under
approach
attack.
20-minute mark here very shortly. Let's see if they go for an outpost, extra outpost or two. And as expected, with all these creeps, Roshan will be the target.
Yeah, it's being pinged out by aggressive mode, but oh, they're not going to be too late. They will actually be on time, but okay, there's vision on that guy.
They're going for the old Tusk. Oh, he kind of cockblocks himself, but the looks like the Pango is going to fall first here, as Lycan will continue to chase. Spartan gets off a punch and dies shortly after, so probably just finish up Roche here.
So they lost 2 supports,
did
but they
have
get a
to use
bottom tier 2 tower.
transformation.
And ultis were used. It's not that bad, but at the same time, it wasn't really a full-on effort to try to get this Roche away from Viking. It looks like they're just accepting that this is a fight they're not going to win. So they're trying to get information and buy time to do other things on the map. Skarlak was not confident in going top anyway, though, so they only really got any meaningful pressure out on bot.
Perhaps a slight silver lining for aggressive mode is Viking really don't have any good Aegis carriers. I mean, that's kind of the issue with transformation heroes in general. I think versus what it used to be before, I think Terrorblade of the transformation heroes is better than he used to be, because he can still hit pretty hard when it gets to mid to late game. But I mean, DK and Lycan, I mean, Lycan's better than DK, I suppose.
Yeah,
but
it's
just
not
never
great,
feels great.
But at the same time, though, a hero like Lycan, it's kind of cool to have it on when you go high ground, because then you can go in and you can start hitting buildings without your ults, and the enemy team kind of has to respond to you because you hit that hard. And then when you pop out with the Aegis, you can shapeshift and take the full-on team fight. So I like it more on him than on the Dragon Knight, because if Dragon Knight shows up to your high ground without popping ult and starts tickling your tower, like, you don't really care that much. But with Lycan, you have to care. He hits
Well,
so
next
much
patch
harder.
they're gonna get the dot damage applied to Dragon Knight as a passive that will
Oh.
come inherently with him.
Yeah, I
So,
think Dragon Knight could use a
watch
buff
out.
right now. That sounds great.
Yep, I agree. Change him up.
Dire's
Let's go.
top tower is under attack.
Looks like the tier 2 tower will be the next choice as Boom pops his ult. Skylark is available still on the boots of travel. We'll be going for a Crimson Guard, actually.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Are you surprised by the Crimson? I mean, obviously he needs to have some D-push, some mitigating damage with all this physical DPS, but maybe like bypassing a blink or something like that, not as important.
I think
Or a Force Staff, something like that.
I think they feel like they will inevitably have to take a team fight in this game at some nearby timing, and this is the highest value item he can buy, which probably is true. It's really good against the Lycan. It's pretty good against, there's a lot of other random physical damage, but
Sunlight. Oh my goodness, he stuck around for a very long time. That was pretty cocky, not gonna lie. Did you catch that whole engagement by any chance?
He was
very cocky indeed.
really trying to kill the Shadow Demon. You know, any rotation will get
Lycan
him
pops
killed.
his ult, and Spartan is just absolutely melting. My lord.
Oh, they got Furion too.
Nothing he can do. And Furion TP canceled, and he is dead. So, as the panel was kind of talking about, you take one bad engagement. Especially bad as this one. Lycan and company can take your buildings extremely fast. That's what we're going to see now.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah,
down
Bad
goes
Rider
the
needs
tier
to work
2.
some magic here. He should be in base fire flying already. Now it's too late. He could have laid a little trail here maybe to at least kill off the creep wave. But now it's all Pango.
Pango does have a blink dagger, so he's going to be able to be pretty effective in terms
Not
of
enough,
stunning
though.
heroes and whatnot, but that
Well,
really
go the
just
Crimson.
delays it a bit here. Yeah, Crimson is now online. All right. I guess without their ults, they don't want to press the issue, as it were. Which is perfectly fine. Very disciplined play from Viking. I like to see it.
Wait for next shapeshift and go again. They could also wait for the AC on Lycan if they want to make it a bit easier.
Yeah, why not? Well, Aegis will be close to expiring at that point, so it's one or the other. But of course, we know that they're 9k ahead. They have to know that they're a decent amount ahead at this point, so we'll see how much they want to push it. Toby has the Blink Dagger and Pipe on the Mars. Hopefully we'll be going Ag so we can finally see it. He might get initiated on, though. Pango's going to come in. I think he missed pretty much every one of those swashbuckles. But Lasso will connect. Shadow Demon with the counter initiation. Very nicely
Oh
done.
my
Mars
God.
on to 4 heroes. And here comes the big golden dragon. That is the BKB being put to good use. 2 dead right off the bat. Pango will attempt to get out of dodge, but you have to think with that dragon tail, he will die, and indeed he will. That's a double kill for the DK. 3 dead. And these are all ults expended. So we'll see if they can get more than just the 3 kills here for Viking.
I think they could have even got 4 kills there. Dragon Knight, I think maybe misclicked the stun and wanted to stun the Nature's Prophet, but got it on the Bat Rider instead. I'm pretty sure Bat is dead there regardless. He's going to get run down by Lycan, but Furion did TP out at the very least, so a little bit of a slight consolation prize. You save 1 hero and only lose 3, but you know, it's not getting any better, it seems. There's no... This is my problem for aggressive mode. What are you looking forward to in this game? Like, when is it gonna change? What is your item where you're like, okay, now we can fight them more? Are you gonna keep trying to split? Is there... Hey, what's the carrot here?
The carrot?
The carrot.
Wow. The carrot, like the bait? Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't know. Maybe it was a bad saying for this exact instance. That is possible.
Where's the tomato is the real question.
Yeah,
that's what we
love
want
those.
to see. I mean, one issue, of course, with Bat Rider, and I thought this right when they picked it, even though it's better, it's not bad in lane if it's a core specifically against like something like Shadow Demon, but when you get to mid to late game, I think of a few heroes that just counter Bat Rider's initiation, and that's their main initiation right now. It's Shadow Demon's one. Oracle is another, and Abaddon with it's lower range on his Aphotic Shield, but still technically a counter. They picked it into it.
Yeah.
Is that not as important as just like the laning stage being one?
I think it's pretty
Or at
important.
least
I don't
let's
think
say-
you should pick Bat Rider like this, personally. I don't think it's good enough to be picked in this state and this stage of the draft. And yeah, Shadow Demon is a good hero against Bat Rider for not only for the disruption, but the demonic purge ruins you in fights. Bat Rider without mobility is pretty bad in most fights.
Oh
Like, it's hard.
dear. Tusk was quite immobile there as he was stun locked. Fortification is popped. But you have to think that these barracks are going to be going down very shortly. Bottom lane, though, they're going to
they
attempt to get
jumped
Nature's
Skylar.
Prophet. Aramis, ooh, it's going to be very close, but he lives. TP's back to base. But, like you said, Skylark is dead. Fortification, or backdoor protection, I should say, is here as Pango. Oh, nice counter fortification to prevent him from killing the wave. See if they end up actually chasing or not. Very annoying that the creeps are continuing to follow him. But the delay is successful. I don't think... we'll see if they can take this. Lycan is hitting pretty hard with that AC now.
seemed
So.
very bugged, by the way.
Yeah. Must be something to do with the fort slash Pango stun?
I don't know. I think I've seen a similar interaction with Spirit Breaker Charge, where the creeps just follow him forever. Like, the Dire didn't have any vision on those creeps for... Oh, well, the Radiant creeps had vision on him when he was really far away under their ward, right? But they shouldn't leash that far, I think. And it might have something to do with the weird movement state he goes in Spirit Breaker Charge or in Pango Roll. I don't know, but I don't think the aggro leash on creeps is that big, even if you have vision. Not a... That was a bit weird for me, that they chased that far. They even continued after he went out of vision, right? Oh shit, he's dead again mid.
Oh shit, I'm sure he's saying the exact same thing right now. But they did end up getting the racks regardless of that weird interaction. And one has to think that they will just continue to push / wait for the next Rosh and just finish it off completely. The racks, or the buildings are available to take in the top lane. They would need to get the tier 2 for the bot. But Lycan ult is up, Dragon Knight ult is up, so no reason to wait around any longer.
Yeah.
But remember, Pango is level 25 on his Dota Plus. And here comes No, he's coming. There's the stun, hits 3 heroes, trying to delay.
They did kill Aramis in the background with Batrider ulti.
But they lost their whole racks for it. Was that worth? We'll see. Accelerate, healing up.
Oh my god, this damage.
Mars
is so
ult onto 2 heroes. He's just waiting for that blade man. Actually, he was disarmed the whole time from Pango. That's kind of annoying as well. Skylark pops the Crimson Guard, gets stunned by the Centaur, and it's already at half health. It's going to get even more stun action as Boom will BKB TP. And Stellar looks like he's going to be fine. Ooh. Yep, no stun to come. I mean, I'm not saying this is a bad... Okay, let me just preface this before I sound like an even bigger idiot than usual. This build from Pango, or the play style of Pango's that we're seeing, competitive play, makes me sick to my stomach. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Like, you pick the most fun hero in the game, okay, with 1.0 turn rate. It just feels fluid to play. And then you use them for just stunning heroes. I mean, come on. That's not fun, Cinderin. Use vector targeting like Ice Frog wanted.
You know what is fun?
What?
Winning. And it's a good strategy for winning. But they're not doing that either. So they might as well.
They're not doing that, Cinderin.
Yeah.
You get a Maelstrom, right? That'll get you back in this game. Spartan,
oh no.
Demonic Purge, and yeah, did not get the Ice Shards.
And then he put down a ward next to a Necro book, so then they're going to farm that.
I'm sure it's fine. That's for the stats. Spartan's dead. Oh, Mars ult on top of Skylark, so that's going to be 2 dead across the entire map. He does have a buyback available, but will they just go for Ancient, or do they...
I think so. They've got Lycan and Dragon Knight. Let's count seconds until these towers fall. You start.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. They have the tomato creep.
Oh boy.
Providing a lot for his team right now. There's the buyback onto the Batrider. We're seeing Pango come in, stunning 1 hero. We're going to count how many heroes he stuns this time around. Weaver pinned to his own Ancient and will drop accordingly. And that's a dieback onto Skylark. That should be the GGs. Viking takes this quite convincingly.
Yeah.
Quite.
They have... They seem to have a really good understanding of the patch. I think that's also a large reason of why they got that 3rd place in ESL and beat out Secret, for example.